See, resistance of a uniform metallic conductor is directly proportional to its length and inversely proportional to area of cross section area. They are telling resistance of a uniform metallic conductor is directly proportional to length and inversely proportional to area. That is, resistance is directly proportional to length and resistance is inversely proportional to area. When we combine both these equations, we can write it as this. What they are telling is, this resistance is directly proportional to length means when we increase the length of the wire, the resistance increases. It is what called directly proportional. When we increase the area of the conductor, if we have a small means thin wire, it will be having high resistance. When we have most thicker wire, it will be having low resistance. It is cross sectional area. And the resistance depend upon its length, that is length on its area of cross section and on the nature of its material. Silicon is having different type of resistance, iron is having different type of resistance. Each and every metal are having their own kind of resistance. So as I said, R resistance is directly proportional to its length and it is inversely proportional to area. Inversely means you have to write 1 over A. By combining these two equations, we can write R is directly proportional. R is proportional to length over A R. By removing this proportional symbol, we should write some proportionality constant, that is rho. In this, we have used rho as a proportionality constant. Sorry, it was a horrible L. Rho multiplied by length divided by A. This rho is a proportionality constant. I said you the silicon, copper or metals having different type of resistivity now. That resistivity will be this rho. The metal will be having its own resistance to the current that will be a constant for every metal under some temperature. Then that will be denoted as this rho. This rho is nothing but, this rho is the resistivity of the material. Resistivity of the material. Hear me? There will be some materials which will not conduct electricity. They are called as insulators, like rubber or glass. We cannot pass electricity through this rubber and glass, wood, etc. Those will be having higher resistance. It will be like 10 to the power of 12 will be it's a large resistor, and 10 to the power of 17 it will be also a large resistance for a current to flow. Therefore, the current will not flow through these kind of materials. The conductors will be having less resistance, that is 10 to the power it will be minus 7, minus 8, like that. These are the resistivity of some conductors: silver, copper, aluminium, tungsten. These all are good conductors. These will be ranging 10 to the power minus 8 to conduct electricity. What we saw earlier was 10 to the power of plus 17, that was. So those cannot conduct the electricity. Those have high resistance. Then these have lower resistance. So these all conduct electricity. Let us solve example 12.3. How much current will an electric bulb draw from a 220 volt source? There is an electric bulb which will draw 220 volt source. If the resistance of bulb filament is 1200 ohm, okay, and B, how much current will an electric heater coil draw from a 220 volt source? The resistance of heater coil is 100 ohm. So what has been given is the volt, 220 volt. V is equal to 220 volt and R is equal to 1200 ohm. What we have to find is current, that is I. We know that V is equal to IR by the Ohm's law. And here what is given? Here the resistance is only 100 ohm. It is a little resistance and this is higher resistance. So the higher resistance will draw little current and the lower resistance will draw higher current. Because we know that resistance is equal to V divided by R. Here in I, if we have higher resistance, the current will be low. If we have lower resistance, the current will be high. Let us write the given thing. For electric bulb, voltage is given as 220 volt and resistance is 1200 ohm. We know that V is equal to IR according to Ohm's law. V is equal to IR. V is equal to I into R. Then what will be I equal to? I will be equal to, this is I will be equal to, this resistance will go down, I will be equal to V over R. Let us substitute. We know what is V. V is voltage, that is 220 volt, and R is been given, that is 1200 ohm, and current will be 220 volt divided by 1200 ohm, that will be equal to 0.18 ampere. And this ampere can be written as a milliampere and microampere. Milli is nothing but 10 to the power of minus 3. That is 0.0001. This will be 10 to the power of minus 3. This we can write it as 180 milliampere. Milli is nothing but 10 to the power of minus 3. If we shift 3 zeros dot to this, we will get ampere. If we write it as 180, we should write it as milliampere. Let us solve this in B. In B, what has been given? Voltage is 220 volt and the resistance is 100 ohm. It is similar. I is equal to V divided by R, that is 220 volt divided by 100 ohm. Voltage is equal to 220 volt, resistance is equal to 100 ohm, I is equal to V divided by R, that is 220 volts divided by 100 ohm. That will be equal to 2.20 ampere. Let us solve the next example, that is 12.4. The potential difference between the terminals of an electric heater is 60 volt when it draws current of 4 amps from the source. What current will be the heater draw if the potential difference is increased to 120 volt? What they are telling is, between the terminals of an electrical heater, it is 60 volt, it draws 4 ampere. What if the 60 volt is increased to 120 volt? What will be the current drawn? So let us see what has been given. It is a potential difference. Initially it was 60 volt, current it was 4 ampere. We must find the resistance of that electric heater to find the next current. You know that V is equal to IR by Ohm's law. R will be equal to V divided by I, that is, this is not R. V divided by I, it will be, this I will go to the bottom side of the V, then V by I. V is 60 volt and we know that I is 4 ampere from given it as 4 ampere. 60 divided by 4 is nothing but 15 ohms. The electrical heater is of 15 ohms resistance. Now potential difference is increased to 120 volt. Initially it was 60, it has been increased to 120 volt. What is current they are asking? Now we know the resistance is 15 ohms, current is 120, voltage is 120 volts. Current will be equal to V divided by R. I will be equal to V divided by R. V is 120 volts and R is 15 volts. 120 divided by 15 will give us the current. I is equal to V over R. It will be 120 volt divided by 15 ohms, that is 8 amperes. Hence the current drawn by heater will be 8 amperes when the voltage increased from 60 to 120 volt. Let us solve another example. The resistance of metal wire of length 1 meter is 26 ohms at 20 degrees Celsius. We said that resistance of a material will vary from different temperatures. In 20 degree it is 26 ohm, in 40 degree it may vary, so he is giving the temperature. If the diameter of the wire is 0.3 mm, what will be the resistivity of the metal at that temperature? So what he is doing is, he is changing the diameter of the wire. Diameter of the wire means it will be a circle. It is having the diameter of 0.3 millimeter. What we know is resistance is directly proportional to length of the conductor divided by area of its cross section. Okay, so the length given is 1 meter at 26 ohm at 20 degrees Celsius. So if the diameter of wire is 0.3 millimeter, he has given the diameter, that is 0.3 millimeter. Will be, milli means it will be 10 to the power minus 3 meter, 10 to the power of minus 3 meter. We know that half of the diameter is radius. Radius will be 2 times, diameter will be 2 times the radius. So radius will be d divided by 2, that is 0.3 into 10 to the power minus 3. When we divide it by 2, we will get the radius. To find the area, it is circular, the wire will be circular. To find the area, we must know A is equal to, area of a circle will be equal to pi r square. We must know radius. So they have given the diameter, we can find the radius easily by dividing it by 2. Let us see, resistance given is 26 ohm. Resistance is given, 1 meter of length is given, diameter of a circular part of wire, it is d is equal to 0.3 millimeter is given, that is millimeter is nothing but 10 to the power of minus 3. So the base of wire will be circular. We must find the area of it. Area will be equal to pi r square. So in the place of r square, we are putting r is nothing but d, half of the diameter. Half of the diameter is radius, that is r is nothing but d by 2. They are asking square, then r square will be equal to d square divided by 2 must also be squared, that is d square by 4. That is d square by 4. It has been mentioned, d square by 4. So by substituting, pi is nothing but 3 into 1 4 into pi d square. D means 0.3 into 10 to the power of minus 3 to the power 2 divided by 4. By solving this, 3.14 is kept as the same. 0.3 square will be into 10 to the power of minus 3. 0.3 into 10 to the power of minus 3 square will be 9 into 10 to the power of minus 8 divided by 4. And the final answer we get it as 7.06 into 10 to the power of minus 8 meter square. This is nothing but this is the area of that base. Now we got the area, we know the length, and we know the resistance. They have said 1 meter of length will be having 26 ohm. If the diameter of wire is 0.3 mm, what will be the resistivity of the metal? Now we got to know what was the length, what is the resistance, and what is the area. Then we must find the resistivity, that is rho. We use the formula R is equal to rho multiplied by L by A. Rho is the proportionality constant, that's what I told you. Rho is the resistivity, L is the length, and A is the base area of it. So by changing this formula, by altering this formula, we will be having the rho. Rho will be equal to R this A will get multiplied to R, and the L will get divided. R is substituted as 26 ohm, A is 7.06 into 10 to the power of minus 8 divided by length is 1 meter. By solving this, we will get rho will be equal to 1.8356 into 10 to the power of minus 6. That we can write it as 1.84 into 10 to the power of minus 6. As the resistivity is 1.84 into 10 to the power of minus 6 ohm at 20 degrees Celsius. You can open the chart, that's what we discussed earlier. The resistivity in your textbook it is there. You just compare, which is around 1.835 into 10 to the power of minus 6 ohm. Then you will get that which. Let us discuss this another example. A wire of given material have length L and area of cross section A has a resistance of 4 ohm. They didn't give any length, they didn't give any cross section, they just put it as L and A, and they are given the resistance. We know that R is directly proportional to L divided by A. What would be the resistance of another wire of same material having length L by 2 and area of cross section 2A? What they have did is they decreased the length by half, and the area of cross section they have increased by 2A. So what I will ask you is, wire of given material have a length L and area of cross section A. It has a resistance 4 ohm. What would be the resistance of another wire of the same material having L by 2 and area of cross section 2A? What they have done is, they have decreased the size to its half. That is, the length of the material have been decreased to half, and the area of cross section it has been doubled. That is, A is made as 2A. For the first wire, we know that R is equal to rho multiplied by L divided by A. The resistance is given as 4 ohm. That is, rho multiplied by L divided by A is equal to 4 ohm. And for the second, what they have did is, they have given the length as L by 2 and they have given the area as 2A. After solving this, rho into L divided by 2 rho into L divided by 2 divided by 2A. This is for the second wire. It will be equal to rho into L by 2. We can write it like this, and divided by 2A will get in the denominator, and this both 2 and 2A will get in the denominator, and we will get it as rho is equal to L divided by 4A. This is 1 by 4. This is divided by 4 means over 4 we will have 1. We can take it out as 1 divided by 4 into rho into L by A. This equation I will go on here, given over here. It is 1 by 4 rho into L by A. In the first wire R1, rho into L by A was 4 ohm. Here also we have rho into L by A, and here also we have rho into L by A. This rho into L by A is given as 4 ohm. We can substitute this rho into L by A as 4 ohm. Then it will be equal to 1 by 4 rho into L by A is R1, that we have substituted R1, and R1 we know that it is given as the resistance 4 ohm. 1 by 4 into this rho into L by A will be written as 4 ohm. 1 by 4 into 4 will be equal to 1. Then the R2 will be equal to 1 ohm. The resistance of the new wire will be 1. Here it is 1 kilo ohm resistor, here it is 2 kilo ohm and 3 kilo ohm. The current is passed, a single current is passed through all the 3 resistors. By adding this 1 kilo ohm, 2 kilo ohm and 3 kilo ohm, we will get 6 kilo ohm resistors. We can find the 6 kilo ohm resistors, and we can substitute by removing all 3 resistors and by adding a single 6 kilo ohm resistor. That is nothing but effective resistance, that is given by V is equal to IRS. Combining equation 4 and 5, we get IRS. V is equal to IRS. So in the place of V, we will put IRS, and in place of V1 IR1, V2 IR2, and in the place of V3 we are putting IR3. Here, by taking I as a common, we will get RS will be equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3. That's what I told you. In the place of 1 ohm, 2 ohm and 3 ohm, we can put 6 ohm as a resistor. That is an effective resistance. So in general, we can write RS will be equal to N times the R1. That is total whichever resistors which are connected in series, we have to add those all the resistors and we must put it as RS. Let us see the example. An electric lamp whose resistance is 20 ohm and a conductor of 4 ohm resistors are connected to 6 volt battery. This is the diagram. This is the voltage source, 6 volt of voltage source and 4 ohm of resistance. This bulb, the bulb will be having its own resistance. Electric lamp is having 20 ohm and a conductor of 4 ohm. This is the 4 ohm resistance and this is having 20 ohm resistance. They are asking to calculate the total resistance of a circuit, the current through the circuit, the potential difference across the electric lamp. We must find the potential difference across only this electric lamp and the current through the circuit. This is not circuit, this is the current through the circuit. Just write current over there. This is current through the circuit. That's the current through the circuit and the potential difference across the electric lamp and conductor. The total resistance of a circuit, since the resistance and conductor are connected in series, then the total resistance, I said that these are connected in series, it is having 20 ohm of resistance and this is having 4 ohm of resistance. We can replace it by 24 ohm, isn't it? this is 20 ohm. We can replace it by 4 ohm. We can replace the lamp and the resistance by 24 ohm. So the effective resistance is 24 ohm throughout this circuit. It is a total resistance of the circuit. Now the current through the circuit, they are asking what is the current? Current is equal to voltage divided by resistance. Okay, resistance we have 24 ohm, voltage we know that it is a 6 volt battery, 6 divided, we get the current. 6 volt of voltage, resistance is 24 ohm, I is equal to V by R, that is 6 divided by 24, 6 voltage divided by 24 ohms, we will get 0.25 amps. Now what is the potential difference only across the electric lamp, they are asking. Okay, electric lamp was of 20 ohms. Electric lamp was of 20 ohms. It was of 20 ohms. It is a resistance. And the current will be the same. That is equal to 0.25. amps. We know that V is equal to IR. We should multiply both this. That is I into R, that will be 0.25 into 20, that will be equal to 5 volts of potential difference across the lamp. And across the conductor is of resistance 4 ohm and of current 25.25, that will be 1 volt.